This is going to be a little bit more rambly than the reviews are because I kind of need to start back when the movie came out. Now, initially, I wanted to go see this in the theaters. I was stoked after seeing Barbarian, and I wasn't able to. But the day after the movie premiered, Ryan Hollinger, who's a YouTuber that I like a lot, he does reviews of horror content. Um, Honestly, check out his stuff; it's really good. But this is the thumbnail now. Originally, it was the same picture, but it said "Weapons is about alcoholism." Dude, the movie's been out 1 day, and you're blowing up. Like, I can't not see that now. I can't not go into the movie with that lens. So you're messing with my ability to enjoy this movie and get potentially a completely different message from it. I'm not annoyed with him anymore because of that thumbnail, because after watching it, that is pretty much full on its sleeve. Like, it's in the title sequence. You get this symbol that appears in the O, which looks like this. And while you can look at it in more esoteric texts, and it's sort of a summoning and binding inscription, which definitely does go in with a lot of this movie. It's also the symbol for AA, and that's where I have a big problem. In some states, it's mandated that if you get a DUI or some other public intoxication, that you go to 12-step, which most of them are AA programs. And part of that 12-step process is to give yourself up to a higher power, which means in states that require that 12-step program, it's essentially becoming state mandated religious teaching, which is really messed up because it essentially just tells the addict, in this case, that they have to completely give up any sort of responsibility or control of their life and just give it up to whatever their higher power is and just hope that they've got the wheel. I get religion helps a lot of people, but making it a mandatory part to move forward in the process and getting support from this group that you may have been required to go to is fucked up. Now, I've heard some arguments that that doesn't necessarily mean that, oh, you don't have to pick God. It could be anything. It could be nature. It could be that's fine, but it's still essentially enforcing any religion on anybody. Should never be the case. But especially in this country, since a lot of churches, Christian churches, host AA meetings, we know what they're going to tell you, that Jesus has the wheel. And at that point, that means you're no longer responsible for what happens next. Because you just have to hope that what you're feeling is your higher power telling you what you need to do. Not that you're not over your addiction, not that there may be some trauma that you need to deal with, and that was the cause of your addiction, or that religion may become your new addiction. I've seen that happen to people, and it's honestly, in some ways, scarier than when I saw these people completely hammered. I'm not saying anybody would be better off being a full-blown alcoholic and completely lose control of their life, but being addicted to anything, whether it's if you replace alcoholism with smoking or some sort of drug use or working out or church, just whatever you're using to replace it, while some of them can be more constructive, like if you pick up a hobby like carpentry, something like that, where then all of a sudden it's like you're making stuff with your hands. So you're not thinking about drinking or whatever your substance of choice was. That's great. You're making a thing. But if the thing that you're just devoting yourself to, especially if these people were full blown alcoholics where they were drinking almost constantly and they were completely out of control, a lot of those things still carry over to whatever it is their new addiction is. Whether it's spending every free moment at the gym and counting all your calories, even though you don't need to. You're in perfect health, but then you just are addicted to going to the gym, to working out, to pumping, getting bigger, bulking up. And at what point do you stop? When your heart gives out? When your kidneys fail because you may have been getting some supplements that may not been entirely on the up and up? Or if you're addicted to religion, at what point do you stop with that? If you're addicted to that, do you become a minister? Some sort of, do you actually become part of the clergy? Do you just take one of the lower roles that doesn't require you to go to get a uh, degree? I mean, where does it end? That's the thing with any addiction, that there is no end. Regardless of what the addiction is, they all tend to take you to very bad places and they make you a very bad person. So, if you're just replacing one addiction with another, or because you were forced to pick up some sort of religion so that you could move forward in your program, or if your new addiction is self improvement, if you're not doing an emotional aspect of it to heal the trauma that caused your original addiction, you're just going to keep working out until you explode, essentially, because you can only get so big until that has to happen to somebody at some point. I mean, that's the undercurrent that really bugged me, because I didn't realize that that's what that symbol was when I'd seen it, like that sticker, that insignia on people's cars when I was just out in the world, that it was because they were in AA. And damn, there's a lot of them out there. But yeah, I'll have another review tomorrow.